So, you always wanted a server. You've always wondered why haven't I already made a video showcasing how to actually make a server, but instead I've made tutorials on servers or for servers. I'm here to tell you that I have absolutely no clue why I haven't done it. Let's just make a new folder and call it rustserver. Also another folder called SteamCMD. This is what you need. You need a SteamCMD. So let's go ahead and download SteamCMD right now. So when you're in your browser, search SteamCMD. Whenever you see developer.valvesoftware.com/wiki/SteamCMD, just click that one. It will bring you to the download, and you can click downloading SteamCMD here. I've got my Rust server on Windows. You're gonna click this right here, and you want to save it. Just save it and open it. You have to put this inside of the new folder that you created called SteamCMD. And it is going to download and update SteamCMD for you. Now this thing is done. So what you're gonna want to do now, when SteamCMD is finalized its install, you want to log in anonymous and also force force install _dir, dir, which means directory, and wherever your server are going to be located. So for my instance, it is in this folder right here. So it's d rustserver d : shoot d : rust server and another slash and end quote. Click enter, and now you do app _update and the games ID. You can do this for all games, but as we are going but for us, we're going for the Rust game ID. The game's ID is 258550, and click enter. What this is gonna do, as you can probably see here, it's going to create new folders very soon. That is everything you need to start a vanilla server. Almost. Alright, it looks like it's done, and you can quit with the quit command. This is your files for the Rust server. Now what you want to do is create a new text document and call it start. Open it, preferably with Notepad++, that's up to you. And here is what I'm using. So :serve for server, and new line at echo of new line cd, and here is the directory for the server again. So Rust server, new line again. Alright, and now what you want to do is to write rust dedicated.exe and batch mode, and add the server port, server port 28033. So you will have your own ports. This is probably not the port you want to use, however you can, but you need to remember this for my next tutorial on port forwarding. Also the server name, server.hostname, and let's just call this flamewatergaming.com, and dash YouTube. Alright. We also want a max player. Oh. Oh. So we want a max amount of player available to the server. So let's just say 50. However, we can adjust this at later time. Everything in here we can adjust later. Let's set the world size. So server.world size, say 4,000. And for next, let's do server dot level procedural map. Boom. And of course the server dot seed, let's say 787, just something random here. You can generate your own maps on this website on the internet. I can probably go over that later. You can also add a .server.description and say this is a test server for YouTube, and you want to use a server URL, so the link to your website, this is your website URL, so http:// your website. So mine is flamewatergaming.com, and also a header image, so plus server.header image. And for this one we're also going to be using my website, but flamewatergaming.com/server image.jpg. We're almost done here, but now let's add a server.identity. This gives you the option to actually use the same files that is in the service folders, whatever, for multiple servers, so that they are basically all the same. You can use the same mods and that kind of stuff on different servers. So my server identity for this one is YouTube, but if I wanted another one, a private one for example, I could just call this private instead of YouTube. Alright, so, and we need an Archon port, and I usually put this at 1 higher only from whatever the regular port is. So 28034 from my case here. And we also need a recon password. And for this one, you should absolutely keep secret, or else your server will be messed with 100%. Potato 123, or actually you can also use you don't have to use capitalization, so potato man OMG, that can be a password. You don't need numbers either. Let's just say potato man OMG is my password, and then recon.web -or space 1. You should probably also add a server save interval. For a very small server, 300 seconds or 5 minutes would probably be okay, but I like to keep it at 15 minutes, aka 900 seconds. So let's do server.save interval space 900. You don't need anything else. You could add more. You could turn off some buggy anti-cheat or anti-hack things like enforcement levels and projectile protection. You could also add a global time warning and make the server log to a specific file etc. But we're not going to do that right now. And of course, this is not going to be a big server. Let's actually put this at 300. But every time the server is going to save, it may possibly lag your players. So be careful. And you should also get a plugin that broadcasts whenever it's saving, so that people know what's going on. And now, just do goto SERV. And what this does, it's letting the server know that whenever it's done with this, and if the server crashes, it's going back to this part. So it's doing everything over again. Alright? So if your server crashes, it is going to be starting over again without you having to do anything, unless of course your machine is crashed or the whole program just crashed. When you restart server, or when you actually end your server, you quit the server with a command, it may actually automatically start again. So yeah, but what you're gonna do now, you want to save as, and you want to save this as start.bat, so that it saves as a batch file that you can launch. Let's start the server. Don't worry about anything here. So here it's telling you it started the Archon, which means you can connect to it with the admin tool already. And it's also generating the map of size 4000 on the seed 787. Okay, and whenever the server is done, you should see Bradley APC spawned, and also how many players there are, the time currently, and the name of the server. You also got the server FPS and how long it's been live, etc. Entities and how many sleepers there are on the map. So you want to connect your own server. What to do? Well, click F1. And here, if you are on the same computer as your server, client.connect space localhost, and then the port after a colon 28033 in my case. However, I'm not on the same computer. But if you were on the same computer as your server and wanted to connect to it, that is your command to connect to the server. But I am on a different computer, so I want to do client.connect 192.168.50.64, which is my server's local IP address and the port for the server. So I click enter and it connects immediately. It might take a few seconds for you, but usually it is pretty quick. And as you can see here, this is blah blah, blah generating blah 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 blah. It is connecting to our server. And let's see, will it connect us successfully? Yes, it will. Okay, so here we are in the server. Now let's disconnect from a server. So this is how to disconnect from a server, guys. You do client.disconnect. And of course click enter, it will disconnect you. You want to add yourself as the owner of the server. You can also do this for moderators, but that's a whole other story. So what you want to do now, as you can see here, I've successfully connected then disconnected from the server. You can also see whatever I wrote. So here is my Steam ID for that Steam account. You write owner ID space and your Steam ID. So because I connected and disconnected, I can see that my Steam ID, so I can already see my Steam ID is what I'm trying to say. If you can't seem to find it, you should probably open a website called Steam.io. I think it's called steamid.io. You type your username. This is my username. And as you can see here, it's the Steam ID 64. That is the relevant one. You can actually copy that. And let's close the web browser now. So the command is owner ID, and then just paste in, and you want to type your username too. You don't need to, but you can, and click enter. And I've now added myself as an owner to the server. So now connect to the server again. All right, we are back in, and look, we're green instead of blue. Woohoo, we're actually admins. We can spam the chats. You now have admin access to your server. You have access to commands and that kind of stuff, and no clip. So that is everything you need to know, guys. And for the next video, I will show you how to port forward to get it into the server browser, modded section, or community section, depending on if your server is modded or not. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if this helped out. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to help you guys out here, and I love doing it. I love making these tutorials. I'm very sorry I haven't been on for quite a while. I have really been busy with life, and I'm sorry, but I am finally trying to get back into doing YouTube and streaming and that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy. Be sure to watch my next video.